on Zoom. So before I start the session, just wanted to check whether is my audio and video clear. Can you guys hear me well? People on the Zoom, please bata dijiye. Right? Can you hear me well? Can you see me? Right? Yes or no in the chat box. Clear hai, nahi hai? You can just write yes or no in the chat box if you can hear me well or not. Waiting for the confirmation from the people on YouTube. अरे यूट्यूब के दोस्त भाई बहनों बता भी दो. Right, please let me know whether you can hear me out or not, whether my audio and video is clear, all clear. कोई कह रहा है एकदम बढ़िया चल रहा है. क्या बात है guys. It's great to see all the young people out here यार. I want to salute all of you, right, because you have been able to accomplish one of the highest milestone of your journey. And I still can feel the day when I became a chartered accountant, and the feeling is different. Right? And you know what? Sakshi ji just gone to an ICI website and checked the results once again. आहा, बोले एक बार फिर से चेक कर लेती हूँ. थोड़ा थोड़ा डर लगता है. Every day you wake up, you still have a dream of studying your CA final exams. आते होंगे अभी भी सपने. यार एकदम से नींद खुल जाती है, पढ़ाई करना है, होता है कैसे? Right? This has been happening with me for a long which is there. But now, guys, finally you are a chartered accountant. So I just want you to describe your feeling in one word. What was the feeling? एक वर्ड में बताइए कि क्या फीलिंग था. What was the feeling after you became a chartered accountant? In one word. क्या बात है. Someone is saying relieved, jackass, relief, wow, क्या लिखा है? Surrender. Okay, great. आग लगा दी, relief, cloud9, proud, amazing, fantastic. And the best feeling is when your parents are so proud about you. Right? वो आजकल आपको बोलते होंगे मेरी बेटी सीए है. Right? They have changed their introduction. Yes. And your parents have also started introducing themselves. My son is a chartered accountant. Right? That's a different feeling. But congratulations itself is a small word for all of you guys. And this is our first session for all the May 26 qualified chartered accountants. So in this journey, you will be seeing me every second day or third day. मतलब either through a YouTube or whichever source, I don't know. But you will be seeing it out every second day or third day. आपको मेरी शक्ल देखनी है. So just get used to it because we'll be updating a hell lot of updates for you, right? It is whether ICI campus, off campus, right? Any updates relating to the vacancies and all the stuff which is going in the market. I'll be the one who's going to be helping out. So great, guys. So after this, let's start with a very important session today. And this session is going to be going for the next 1 hour, 15 minutes or 1 hour. So we will be requiring a pen and paper. Sir, पढ़ाई अब तो अरे थोड़ा सा let's write it down. We have to write down some important things which is there, right? So of course we'll be needing your notes, right? You can see you have left some blank space in your audit का किताब. कुछ खाली ऑडिट के किताब में पेजेस होंगे और you can find out some blank spaces which is there. We are going to be needing the same because we are going to be drawing an important chart for you guys which is there, and this is going to be helping you out in your career and stuff. Chalo, great. So let us start with the very important session today, and this is one of my favorite session, and that is to help you out understand what next after CA. How would your journey look like for this next 3 months, and what all things you have to take as a part of an important decision in your life. That is number one. Number two, what all domains which are available where you can target and how you can pivot into that domains. We'll be trying to talk about the same. Great. So let's take some blank page and let's draw a simple chart which is there. I'll be happy if you can draw it. If not, then anyways, I'll be sharing this notes with you guys after the session which is there. Okay. Now, very important stuff. Please understand this. Today, you are chartered accountants. All of you are chartered accountants. I'm so proud of you. But you know what? Your journey for this CA will be for 3 months. That is what my experience is. Your journey will be for 3 to 4 months where you will see a lot of aggressive hiring going on. Okay. Now, also one more thing, the value of the chartered accountants of May 26 will be higher till the time November 26 exams happen. मतलब कि आपका मार्केट में वैल्यू तब तक ज्यादा रहेगा जब तक के नवंबर 26 का एग्जाम नहीं होता. Right? As and when the time November 26 exam starts happening in, company starts saying that, bro, I have to hire or I am looking for hiring someone who has given the exam in November 26. So what is our goal? Our goal is to get ourselves placed within this duration, which is there. Now, of course, today you're a chartered accountant. You'll always have a two choice, right? The first choice is to do something on your own. So doing on own means either you can go for your own practice, you can go for your own business, or you can go for some further studies, or you can have some other activities in your life. Okay, bro, I want to now become an Instagram influencer, or I want to go into teaching, or I want to go for some civil services and whatnot. So that is there. So this is one of the career pathway where you can go into. And second, of course, you will be getting and doing something where you will join somewhere to build your career. I'm not talking about a job which is there. I generally say you do something which will help you build your career. Because career is something which you do out of a passion. Of course, everybody has a one important goal after becoming a CA, and you know the goal is hi, thoda sa ab paisa kama le. Right? So now everybody has to earn a money. That is a goal which everybody has. But the important goal which I just wanted to highlight you out, everybody has to earn a money, but they have to earn a money which will excite them in the journey. What is the meaning of excitement? Let's say, bro, I really like Start Audit. So I want to get into Start Audit through which I want to make a money. I don't want to unnecessarily go anywhere and have to make a money out of it. So that is why I clearly written it out. You are going to be working for your career. Okay. So we are going to be focusing more on this side today of a session, which is there. Of course, we'll have a separate session for this. Okay, how to get into practice, how to start your business, how to get into teaching, and all the other stuff which is there. But today we will be focusing more from the perspective of how do you build your career and what are career options are available to you. Okay. Now, let us understand this journey. Let us draw a simple and important timeline, which is there. So these are the stages of a chartered accountants after they start their journey. The first step of your journey is you have to start applying. Right? You have to start applying, which is there. Where, sir, I will apply? Of course, you'll try to find out the vacancies, whichever places you can see it out. So you have to apply at multiple vacancies wherever you'll be able to find it out. Now the question comes is which places I can find out the vacancies. The vacancies you can find it out on LinkedIn, Naukri, Indeed, IIMJobs, and a lot of other places as well. We also run a placement program for you guys, which is called as a CA Sambhav program, which is done by CA Monk itself. So there are a lot of places you will apply, including most important, and that is ICAI campus. You'll apply. Now, point to be noted, my friends, is since you're going to be applying here, the initial this phase is called as off campus. इसको हम कहते हैं off campus. And this phase is called as campus. Okay, that is there. Now, sir, I have a doubt. What doubt? Sir, how to apply in a campus? What to be done? How to fill out a form? How would the campus process go? No need to worry. Your big brother is there with you. We will have a dedicated session for you guys on 24th of June. आप ही के साथ बैठ के डिटेल में विल डिस्कस अबाउट हाउ टू फिल आउट अ फॉर्म, व्हाट नीड टू बी डन, व्हाट नीड नॉट टू बी डन, which center to choose, which center not to choose. The brochure of a campus has been out, but I would request you to please wait till the time I take the session. Otherwise, you'll end up taking a lot of wrong steps and then you're regretting it out. Oh my God, I've chosen a wrong center and I'm not getting place. Sir, I have a doubt. Sir, should I only wait for ICAI campus and do my journey out? Let me give this answer through a ICAI brochure only, which is there. So this is the brochure which has been issued for your campus. This is your 65th campus, which is going to be there. And this is not a detail given by me. This is a detail given by ICAI itself. It says that total number of candidates which were offered the job in the last campus, which was for January 26, were 2,500. Out of 7,500, approximately people got cleared. So around 30-33% are getting placed through campus. Remaining people either getting placed through off campus or doing their own practice, which is there. So एक चीज क्या सीखा कि of course bro, if you are looking for a good job, you also have to focus on off campus applications, which is there. That is the one thing which you have to understand for you. Number two, it is clearly mentioned in the data. What has been mentioned in data? Number of candidates offered. They did not mention how many candidates accepted. Accepted number will be lower than this. And if you want to see the statistics, I'm being a good guy because I'm into this industry for last 6 years now. So I can show you some statistics and the data which is there. Let me just show you some statistics and the data. Let me just put it through for you. So this is the statistics and the data, if you could see it out, for the last around 6 odd years. So you could see it out. This is the statistics. 7,590 people got cleared in last time, out of which this many people got placed. They did not give this time the data of accepted. Of course, on an average, the percentage of a placements going through campus is between 40 to, again, lower side on 16% or 15%. That is there. I'm not demotivating you, I'm telling you the reality of a market which you should not regret it later. देखो आज सब पता रहेगा ना तो इंसान मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार रहेगा कि हाँ भाई चलो आज मुझे पता है कि आई हैव टू आल्सो अप्लाई ऑफ कैंपस व्हिच इज देयर, आई हैव टू कीप माई सेल्फ प्रिपेयर्ड. So that is something which will be in your head. Okay, sir. So I have to understand that, bro, I have to apply off campus into the vacancies which are there. Now, after this is done, for this, what I have to do, I have to start applying. But how do I apply? You have to keep three things handy. And that is the first most important thing is you have to send an email. Right? You have to send an email which is there. Of course, you will be sending a normal email for a job application. And also, you will be sending an email for a follow-up. Follow-up means, let's say if HR does not reply, or let's say you have given an interview, they're not replying you, or you have applied through a job, but they're not giving you a reply. So now you have to send an email which is there. So you have to keep an email templates or email handy. Parallelly, you have to keep your resume handy. This is the most important thing which is there, right? You have to keep your resume handy. And of course, you have to customize the resume based on the domain you're getting into. Now, again, two choices. You can make the resume into Word, or you can make a resume using some tools. Right? You can use some AI tools, you can use Canva, you can use other tools which is there. If you want, we have also built out a very nice tool. If you want to use it, you can use it, which is tools.cmonk.com. अगर यूज करना है आपका चॉइस, नो ऐसा कंपल्शन है कि यही बनाना है वो बनाना है, इट्स योर चॉइस. So next is you have to prepare your good resume, and also some companies ask for one great thing, and that is called as a cover letter. कुछ कंपनीज कवर लेटर भी मांग बैठेगी कि भैया गिव अस अ कवर लेटर आल्सो सो दैट वी आर गोइंग टू बी रिक्वायरिंग द सेम. जैसे कि गोल्डमैन माइट आस्क यू एंड some of the companies like JP Morgan might ask you if you have a cover letter, please put it through. Now, what is cover letter, bro? In simple words, if I say, it talks about three things. It talks about why this company, why this domain, and why you. So it talks about why this company, why this domain, why you. We're going to be preparing, there's no standard format of cover letter, but this is nothing but what is a proof of work. कि भाई देखो मुझे काम आता है. Let's say you're targeting into IB, do you prepare a short financial model, you share with them. But again, it's not mandatory, it's optional thing. By the way, this is an optional thing. If you have to do it, you get an edge. If you don't want to do it, if you don't have a time, you can ignore the same. So majorly it talks about why this company, why this domain, why you. Why you comes with a proof of work. कि भैया देखो मारे को काम आता है, please hire me for the same. That is what it is. Sir, so first I have to apply, but to apply, you have to keep this handy. Okay, sir. After this is done, the next and the most important stage of an interview comes. It's called as, you'll get a call. You'll get a call from companies which is there, which becomes a part of pre-screening call. इसको हम कहते हैं pre-screening call. That means lot of companies and HR will be giving you the pre-screening call which is there. Now, what is a pre-screening call? A call which you will get before your interview is scheduled. Now, please understand the toughest process of your entire job market. सबसे मुश्किल कड़ी जो है पूरे job market की is to get a call. Because after you get a call, right? I hope your internet is not well, Anuj. That is why it's lagging. But because I think my internet is good enough, right? So the toughest process of this journey is to get a call. Please understand. If you get a call, the 95% of the journey is sorted. Why? Because the beauty of an interview is the paper is already leak. मतलब आप समझिए आप ऐसी एक एग्जाम दे रहे हैं जिसका पेपर लीक है. मतलब सर नहीं समझे. अरे ब्यूटी यार, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. The interview process is, the first question of every interview is introduce yourself, run with your resume, give me a brief about you, or can you please give me a short description about your articleship or journey, what you've done. That is how the first question starts with. Last question of every interview is, do you have any questions for me? Remaining questions I'll tell you in this journey case, and when depending on which role and which company you're getting into, I'll tell you out. But this is how the fixed pattern of interview goes around. But what is the toughest part is to get a call. And if you get a call and if you miss it out here, either due to communication skills or whichever skills, you will be regretting it out. Now let us understand what all things HR will be testing in the pre-screening call and how does it goes. So in a pre-screening call, HR will be testing your most important, that is your communication skills, how good you are in terms of a communication. Number two, they will check your domain knowledge. Okay, bro, let's say we are hiring for start audit. What percentage of your articleship is into start audit? Or do you really have done a start audit in your articleship or not? That is what they'll test. Sometimes they might also check your technicals. Like, let's say you've said, I've done worked into start audit. They'll say, chalo bataiye ki what are the recent changes in schedule 3? Or they might ask you, what is the difference between Collar 2016 or Collar 2020? which is there. So they'll end up asking you some technical questions which are there, right? Because HR is going to be getting a checklist, they have to run through it. Plus, they'll also be checking your confidence level, how confident you are in terms of your delivery and presentation, which is there. So the overall idea here is to see, are you a right fit or not for the role? So that is going to be done as a part of a pre-screening call. 99% of the company does the pre-screening call, which is there. By the way, this process gets eliminated if you apply to ICI campus. Matlab, no need to send an email, no need to attend. Sometimes you have to attend it, but 95% or 80%, you don't need to go for a pre-screening. Directly you go for an interview also, which is there. But again, nowadays they have increased the more of a pre-screening, which is there. No, it is not going to be a video call. It's mostly going to be on a phone call, which is there. You're going to be getting a call from an HR, and that's going to be over a phone call, which is there. This attempt, I could see it out. KPMG is doing a pre-screening call via Zoom meeting, right? So that has been there. But again, mostly it happens on a phone call only, which is there. After this is done, the next most important step comes where you will be also preparing and giving some of the test. Now, please understand, don't take so much of a stress कि भाई इतना सारा कुछ रहेगा क्या? No, beta, we are talking about the extreme. Extreme means, let's say, अगर कोई company में ये steps हुईगी, मतलब we are talking about all the possible corners of the interviews which is there. Not necessary that every company will have a test, right? Not necessary that every company will conduct a GD, but just telling out what all things are there. Or sometimes company use a group discussion as a part of their shortlisting parameter. Just giving you a small example, last time in campus, a lot of company has to conduct a walk-in drive. What is a walk-in drive? A drive where I'm inviting unknown applications to come and give an interview. So what they did, they said, chalo bhai, aajo GD de do. In fact, last attempt I could see a lot of big fours also conducted a GD round without telling to candidates. The group discussions keeps on happening where they are going to be inviting the candidates because the pool of people is higher. A lot of people has to come for an interview. Let's say if I put a simple vacancy out, every Tom, Dick and Harry will start applying. So how do I filter those candidates? GD is the right way to do the same. And in fact, some companies will conduct a test, like L&T will conduct a test, Reliance will conduct a test, Wipro will conduct a test, right? Ambit Capital will conduct a test. So multiple companies also conduct the test just to filter the candidates out. Are you the smart in the room? In fact, this time Deloitte USA is also hiring. They'll be conducting a Versant test. Versant means it's an English communication test. So every company has their parameter of shortlisting, which is there. So if I talk about the test, there are multiple types of tests which is there. Basically, if I talk about aptitude test, it can be an aptitude test. It can be technical test where you will be getting some technical questions related to your CA final examinations. It can be logical reasoning, or it can be a combination of any permutation combination, or it can be a Versant test. This is conducted by Deloitte USA, or you might get this test with a different name called as AMCAT test. This is called by KPMG Global. KPMG Global calls the same test as the AMCAT test, which is there, right? So multiple permutation competition, or some company calls it as psychometric test also, right? So सबके अपने नाम है, different way of putting it through. That is one. Number two, after this is done, some companies also conducts a group discussion. Group discussion. Now, GD becomes a very interesting because many a times company will not tell you that they are going to be conducting a GD. All of a sudden, they'll say that Shivam will have a GD round, right? So I can divide it into three parts. Now, GD can be into three parts. First, it can be an abstract topic. Abstract means just a random topic like yellow, pink. So that can be an abstract topic which is there. Or why sky is blue. That is the abstract topic. Okay. Or you can have a case study based topic. Case study based topic, which is there. Mostly companies like Marico conducts a case study based topic. Vedanta will conduct a GD. Vedanta ka USP, they conduct a GD, right? And you have Hero MotoCorp, they conduct a GD, which is there, right? Unilever conducts a GD, right? So काफी सारी companies end up conducting a GD, which is there. And third will be based on generic topic, or it can be some technical topics, which is there. Generic topic like should countries like US interfere in the war? GD topic. Now you will be only able to speak when you're reading the newspaper beta. So one thing which you have to start doing, which I recommend to all of my students, is start reading newspaper. And that definitely that is going to be giving you an edge over others. But if you're not reading the news, how the hell you will be able to see, right? So that is something you have to do it out when you're going for a GD. Anything can be given as a part of a topic which is there. The only important parameter here of a shortlisting is to whether are you a person who can think, and how good is your communication, and how better you can present. So that is what they have to see it out when they are going to be shortlisting the same. In short is good enough, but I would recommend some business news or economic times is something I would recommend it out, because being a finance guy, you should focus more from the finance angle. not from the other stuff, है ना, which is there, so you can just run through. So this is our stages of interview. Now, after you get shortlisted here, right, you have applied, you got an email, you got a pre-screening, you got a test. Now, please understand, every company will not have this process. Some company will not have this. Some company will have this. Some company will have this. This is again a common for all the companies, but test is very choosy depending on the company you're getting into. After this is done, the next stage of an interview comes in, where now you're going to be moving to the most important part, and that is called as a technical rounds. Okay, so now let us go to the second part of the discussion, where you're going to be now moving to the technical rounds, which is there. Now, generally, the first round is more towards, I've seen this out, this is mostly taken by manager, and this is mostly going to be on a round of a technical, which is there. So that is something which you have to understand. Mostly this is going to be on round of a technical, which is there. And please understand, this questions majorly will be resume based. Matlab 80 to 90% of your interview will go on a resume based, which is there. Now, parallelly, they will also test you based on the domain you're getting into. Plus, they will be also asking a lot of HR questions to you, right? So 80 to 80% of the interview questions will go on resume based, and 20-30% will be mostly based on the domain side, which is you're getting into. Yes, the videos there on YouTube, no need to worry as such, which is there. So now, let's say in your resume, you have written tax audit. So they'll ask you, what is tax audit? Who can do a tax audit? What are the deficiencies you have identified during tax audit? How many clauses are there in tax audit? So east, west, north, south corner related to resume, they'll ask you, which is there. Number two, let's say you're targeting FDD. So they'll ask you some technical questions related to FDD. Okay, what is EBITDA? What is adjusted EBITDA? How do you calculate net debts? What is KPI? Right? What is price volume variance? How do you calculate it? So don't give me this weird look, right? Because that is something which you have to prepare for. Now understand this rule of a game. Yeah, देखो ध्यान से समझो. I always say this dialogue and I'm just telling out and putting in your head very clearly. Getting a job after becoming a CA is never a problem. I've never seen any chartered accountant getting unemployed, which is there. But the problem is only one. The place where you have to go, that requires an effort. CA बन के जॉब ढूंढना मुश्किल नहीं है, बट जहां तुम्हें चाहिए वहां मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. Number two, please understand, you don't trust me, I can prove it to you. Go to your articleship boss and tell them, sir, I want to come and join you from tomorrow. You'll get a job. But the question is, do you want to continue there? अरे बताइए क्या आपको उधर जाना है? सवाल है ना, जवाब है ना, राइट? Many of you don't want to go there, है ना? अजीत ने दिल से कहा मैं नहीं जा रहा. बट बेटा अब आपको जाना है अच्छी फॉर्म से, राइट? नाउ यू वांट अ ब्रांड, नाउ यू वांट टू डू समथिंग बिग इन योर लाइफ, बट फॉर दैट यू नीड एफर्ट्स इज फॉर दैट. सीए बन के जॉब ऐसे ही मिल जाएगी, आप कहीं पे भी जाइए, 50-60 हजार कोई भी इजीली आपको दे देगा, बट दिक्कत वो है कि हमें वो चाहिए नहीं. Many of you want a brand, many of you want to get into big fours, many of you want to get into industries. For that, we require to have some good preparation. For that, we require to have, and we know we should know the rule of a game. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Number two, it's a request. Being a big brother, and I've seen this journey and I've placed a lot of people into this industry. एक गलती मत करना which you did in your articleship. You know what mistake you did in your articleship? In articleship, what you did, आपने क्या किया? Whatever you got, you selected that. Or you did not think about the much about the domain and stuff, and you said, चल भाई जो मिल रहा है ले ले, बाद में देखते हैं. And later on you regretted it out, यार फंस गया मैं. You must have seen this out, right? Or you might have think of यार मुझे Big Four मिल जाता इसलिए, or I would have got easily an industrial training, or I could have joined the better firm. Don't make this mistake, because this mistake, if you do it again for the first job, you might regret it. I always say simply, first you prepare, understand what you want, and then you decide what you have to go for. But don't take much time deciding this, otherwise the market will get closed down. That is what I'm just trying to tell you. Although you'll find out vacancy every damn day coming on LinkedIn and other places. Vacancies to aayegi. But of course, you have to prepare well, understand what you want, and then you move out, which is there. Okay, so that is something which I just want you to understand and put it in your head very clearly. Chalo, great. So technical rounds is going to be there. Now, depending on companies you're going to be getting into, let's say if you're going for ICA campus will have only 1 or 2 maximum round of a technical interviews. But when you're going to, let's say, some companies on off campus में generally I've seen it goes to more technical rounds, which is there. Let's say if I talk about a Big Four में majorly you'll have 2 rounds, which is there. One manager round, one partner round. That is what my experience is. अगर कभी-कभी किस्मत खराब रही तो you might have 3 rounds of a round in a Big Four, whichever domain you get into. But most probably you'll have 2 rounds of a rounds in a campus, off campus. Campus में mostly 1 or 2 round maximum, which I've seen. But some companies, when you go for off campus rounds like DE Shop, right, they might end up taking 8 rounds of interview. So some companies are so brutal on that front also. मतलब लेते रहेंगे भाई, इतना क्या पूछ रहे हैं, है ना, इतना तो मेरे बॉयफ्रेंड ने भी नहीं पूछा था या गर्लफ्रेंड ने भी नहीं पूछी थी मुझे. So sometimes you'll feel this out, which is there, they'll take 8 rounds, 9 rounds of interviews. So that is how it is, which is there. And parallelly, of course, you will have second round. Mostly I call this as a partner round, or I call this as a CFO round, which is there. Right. Of course, I'll take the doubts at the end. I know you have a lot of queries. Let's keep it out for the end of a session. Let me just run through the things which is there, and then I'll be opening up the forum for a doubts. So mostly this partner round or a CFO round is something on confidence and checking whether you are a long-term sustainable resource or not, whether you are going to be working with the company or longer duration or not. Plus, they'll be focusing more on HR questions and seeing what you have done in your articleship. So they are much more interested on your past, how better you have done, have you taken some leadership or not, right? They will ask you some questions which might test your personality and overall behavior. Like they might ask you, have you faced any office politics? Or have you taken any leadership or have you driven some project in your articleship or not? That is going to be there. So this is how it happens. Okay. Now, sometimes if you are going for some premium roles, right? Some premium roles, like if you're going for, let's say, FDD, or you're getting into investment bank, or you're getting into equity research. So here you might face before you get selected, or sometimes that might be before this also, where you might also get a case study now. Right. That is also going to be there. So if you're going for some premium roles, so they also have to test how good you are at Excel, how good you are at presentation, how good you are at building the thought processes, which is there. So they might give you some Excel or case study based round, which is there. Just like when you go to an FDD, you'll get some case study out, which is there. Or sometimes nowadays, in last attempt, I've seen PwC was kind enough to take one of the tests, which is there. I'll just show you the paper of the same. Let me just show you the same. So what PwC did, PwC gave a simple data analysis and they asked the candidate, Ki, bro, can you analyze this data within the 20 minutes of a time? Let me just show you the case study, what was asked, so that you'll get and relate to it, what can be asked to you. So this was a question given by PwC. What they did, they gave this database. I think those who have attended Sunday's networking session knows this all. So they give this data and they ask the candidate, bro, analyze this data in 20 minutes. So they just want to test your Excel skills, how good you are at it, and are you able to think it out or not. तो ये सब चीजें थोड़ी बहुत टेस्टिंग होती हैं, बट अगेन नॉट ऑल कंपनीज विल डू इट, दे विल बी टेस्टिंग आउट डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट रोल यू आर गोना बी गेटिंग इनटू. So that is also one of the things which companies used to do it up. Again, please understand, I am talking about the extreme, to don't unnecessarily think कि इतना सारा होगा क्या, नहीं. We are talking about the extreme, which is there. After this is done, of course, now you will be selected, which is there. After this is done, you will be finally selected and you will be getting an offer letter. But before you get an offer letter, you will be going for some background check, which is there. So mostly they will be asking you, do you know anyone in your firm, or can you give us a reference of someone who can vouch for your work from your past firm, which is there. Generally, they'll be asking you someone's number who can vouch for your work, or basically they'll be asking you all the mark sheets of 10th, 12th, BCom, CA, and all the stuff is going to be part of the same. So background check is not a bigger problem. No need to worry as such. So after you get selected, you get an offer letter. So this is how the typical journey will go for an interview process. Again, company to company it will vary. When I talk about the big four, very simple process, right? Just like this time KPMG India is conducting the technical test, which is there, which is a combination of India's IFRS and all the stuff which is there. So that's a virtual interview test which they are conducting. अभी तक लास्ट अटेम्प्ट में नहीं था, इस अटेम्प्ट से उन्होंने डाल दिया, because everybody has to see your personality and behavior. So of course that requires a preparation. ठीक है. So this is about a application process of your journey, which is there. I hope this is clear to all of you guys. Any doubts on this? I'll take 2-3 odd doubts in this. If you are clear, just write clear in the chat box. I'll be happy to see it out. हाँ. अनुराग कह रहा है CA freshers don't have girlfriends. Okay भाई माफ कर दो, that was a joke bro. Okay, if you have a doubts, you can put it out. Otherwise, if it's clear, just write clear. Then we can move to the other parts of the session where we can talk about the different domains which is there. Even when applying for different roles other than the domain which we had did an articleship, majority of questions will be still resume based. So Neil bhai, when you're changing a domain, right, you will be also asked some questions based on the domain which is there. And let's say when you're pivoting to a new domain, they'll be expecting a good technicals on that domain which is there. Yes, we'll be discussing about how do you prepare our technicals and stuff, right? Don't need to worry as such. We'll be discussing about the stuff. Confused between audit and tax, we'll have a short discussion on a domain now, which is there. And of course, I'll tell you, you can have the detailed domain session with us as well. So I got a call from a big four and big six, but they are taking an interviews. They go, please understand, a lot of interviews will be also happening in later, which is there, right? some big fours unnecessarily create a pressure on you guys because they understand that, don't take me wrong, but that's a fact. What a lot of companies want, especially big fours, what they do, they want the candidates to join them before the campus starts. अरे भाई ये तो गलत है ना यार, हमें देखने तो दो what all options I have. Let's say if you get selected today, you join today. अरे भाई, but what about what other things I could get? So that is a strategy with a lot of big fours do it out. They unnecessarily put a lot of pressure on candidates out कि भैया tomorrow is your interview, day after tomorrow you have to join. अरे, but what about my campus and other opportunities? So that is something which is wrong on Big Four front. But again, please understand, vacancies do not get filled in a day. That is what you have to understand. Number two, if you're going, please prepare and go. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying prepared ho, sure ho, chale jao. And if that is your domain, if that is a role which you want to get into, go for it, bang on. But I would always say don't restrict yourself by joining early and then you'll end up missing out opportunities which you did the same in the horticulture. That is what my overall thing is. And if you love what you're getting it, bang on, go for it, bang on. That is what we wanted it out. We got it. We are happy. Okay. Chalo, great. Now let us come to the important discussion, which will help you on the same. I'm not able to determine the domain. Already I have uploaded one video on domain on my YouTube. I'll tell you where it is, but I'll just discuss on short domains, which is there so that you can understand the stuff. Okay, now let's come to the second part, right? So when you're going to be applying, there are going to be multiple domains in the market. So there are 13 different domains, which I'll be just discussing out in very short so that you get a bit of idea. And of course, if you want a detailed guidance, I'll just share my YouTube video of the past where you can just run through it as well, which is there. Now let us go to the domains which are there. Now, the first most important domain where you will find out highest amount of vacancies is Stat Audit, right? Stat Audit. This is again one of the domain which is there where you can get into. Now, further, I would say Stat Audit is divided into two fronts. One is Indian and second is global, right? So you'll find out a lot of vacancies of the Stat Audit firms which are Indian based, which is there, right? We'll take the doubts later, guys. Please, let's focus on the session. Right. So Indian firms and the global firms. Indian firms refers to all the big fours, EY, KPMG, PwC, and Deloitte. But the same big fours have their back offices in India with the name of GDS or SDC, like PwC or PwC SDC, EY has EY GDS, Deloitte have Deloitte USI, BDO have BDO Rise, GT is GT Indus. So a lot of global firms and the Indian firms have their offices, which is there. Now, one mistake which students don't understand and they don't realize is a lot of big fours have divided their departments or companies into parts. जैसे कि majorly three parts are there. First is TMT, second is IIC, and third is FS. Generally, a lot of big fours call this as non-FS and called as FS. ये दो नाम से majorly बोलता है इसको, non-FS and FS. So when you'll get a pre-screening call, HR will call you, are you interested for FS or non-FS? So what is FS? FS is a financial services which includes your NBFCs, banking, insurance. All these companies, if you are interested to work into, you can join FS. If you're not interested into banking, insurance, and more inclined towards manufacturing side, you go to non-FS. Because TMT include telecommunication, media, and technology, right? IIC is infrastructure and consumer side, which is there. So that is what it is, a part of non-FS, and this is FS. ये Big Four के interview calls में आएगा, but please understand when you choose FS as a career, your career will be now restricted to the banking, insurance companies. तो 2 साल बाद आप बोलोगे कि भाई मुझे कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंटिटी में जाके काम करना है, नहीं कर पाओगे. क्यों? Because your career is now got restricted to this. So that is what you have to understand. Now, of course, what work you do here as an auditor, of course, you're going to be auditing the financial statements of a company. You'll also be doing a lot of tax audits, which is there. That becomes a part of your journey. You'll be also doing IFC, which is a control testing part, which you are going to be part of the same. You'll also do a lot of certifications, which is there. And of course, many a times when you're going to be doing an audit of some companies where you have to do a consolidation and stuff, so that also becomes a part of the same. So this is something what you're going to be doing as a part of a Stat Audit role. Okay, please understand the highest amount of vacancy comes for this domain. सबसे ज्यादा vacancies इस domain की आती है, and in fact उसमें भी सबसे ज्यादा vacancy is found for global firms. Right, huge vacancy, मतलब lot of vacancies because lot of outsourcing work coming from outside India to the Indian entities that is gonna be there. Okay, so that is the first domain. Number two, right? You will be also going to the second domain, which is very interesting. That is what I call this domain as internal audit and forensics. Internal audit and forensics. I'm just covering this domain in shorts. If you want a detailed session, I'll just tell you where you will be able to get it out, which is there. Now, internal audit and forensics, where you will be majorly working on three things: process, risk, and controls. So what you will do, you'll see the process of a company, how the process of the company is, what all risks are mapped to those processes, and of course you'll implement and help the company put the right controls which is there. This is something those who have done an internal audit can understand it out. I'm talking about a one word which is called as a RCM, risk control matrix. To prepare the RCM for a companies which is there, and many a times you will end up preparing the internal audit reports as well. So you help the company to set up a process, or you will be also preparing the detailed internal audit reports as well. So let me just show you a short key. What is something you're going to be preparing it out, and how does this reports looks like? I think many of you will be able to resonate it through because they have been kind enough to work on this type of a reports which is there. ऐसा कुछ reports वगैरह आपने बनाया होगा, and many of you will be able to relate to this 3 colors of a life. So that is what you will be working on, and you will be noting down the what all issues are there, what was the issue and what was the risk type, and parallel you map out the observations. You see what was the management explanation, what was the risk, and what is the recommendation. So that is what you keep on seeing it out when you prepare the internal audit. Internal audit helps in management to give a recommendation which is not there in the start audit. Start audit में you would only end up giving an opinion. Internal audit में आप opinion भी दे रहे हैं, plus साथ साथ management explanation, and you're giving a recommendation. So that is the only downside of internal audit is, of course, it is a lot of process driven work. So काफी ज़्यादा process documentation, that is what you have to do. That is on a downside of an internal audit. Next, of course, forensic audit is also very interesting and a growing domain these days, because a lot of companies nowadays are identified doing a fraud. I generally say one dialogue: all company cannot do a fraud, but of course, there are a lot of companies who can do a fraud even if the controls are strong. So what do you do as a forensic auditor? Your forensic auditor is responsible to identify the frauds which is there, how the fraud has happened, and they have to prepare a forensic audit report which is going to be issued to a management. So of course, if you're targeting into forensic audit, you will need a good exposure of internal audit in your CV. If you don't have it, you can showcase your start audit knowledge as well. So if I want to get into start audit, of course, knowledge of start audit will be recommended more on the CV. Interview will be shortlisting you based on this. Generally, above 60% they'll be looking for the same. If you don't have it, तो वो थोड़ा सा hesitant हो जाते हैं in terms of shortlisting. Similarly, in internal audit, देखो, the most important parameter of a shortlisting is a work experience. So start audit में mostly they'll be looking for start. Internal में 60-70% which is there. So showcase and present the things in your resume in such a way that your start audit area is more focused as compared to other areas. Talking about the third very interesting domain, and that is, of course, one of the very interesting domain, which is FDD. What is FDD? FDD stands for financial due diligence. Although it's a part of a SAT, this becomes a part of a SAT. A lot of Big Fours called it as SAT, which is there. What is SAT? Strategy and transactions. That is one of the part of a FDD which is there. SAT also includes your investment banking and valuation roles when you talk about a Big Four. तो Big Four में एक SAT करके division होता है, उसमें एक sub division होता है FDD. So just telling out for an information so that when you're applying, you should at least know what the things are there. I know this is a bit of an information heavy session for you, but although if you want to revisit this session on YouTube, you can just again go the same. I'll be keeping this session on YouTube as well. Okay. Next. Now FDD में what you're going to be doing, of course, देखो, please understand, whenever you're going to be investing a money in anyone's company, you have to see whether the company is worth investing or not, or whatever the information the company has given you is correct or not. So that is what you do from a due diligence perspective. Let's say if I say that, bro, the valuation of a CMONK is 100 crores, invest the money in my company. Will you do it like this? The answer is no. You'll say that कि भाई क्या भरोसा सही है कि नहीं है data. So you want to check the history of my company. You want to check the KPIs of my company. You want to see how better my company has performed. You want to see कि भैया what is a customer acquisition of a cost of a company. You want to see what is the customer life cycle of a company. So you'll see all the important parameters which will help you make a decision about a company. And that is not done in a start audit. So when we are going to be doing a due diligence, I'll just show you a short report which is there, right? So whenever you do this masterclass, also you'll learn this in a detailed manner. We do it out, but just showing you one of the due diligence report of a Byju. So this is a DD report of a Byju which is there. Now, when someone is investing the money in any of the company, let's say I'll just show you the KPI. So these are the KPIs which is going to be seen by the companies, like how much one salesperson can bring out the students, or what is a conversion rate from 10 standard to 11 standard, 10 standard to 11 standard. What is the conversion rate which Byju is able to bring? So I'm showing all those important analysis or decisions which will make the investor's life easy. FDD is a journey and a process of investment bank. एक process होता है IB में कि जब भी डील क्लोज होती है तो डील क्लोज होने के पहले ड्यू डिलिजेंस होता है, ताकि वट एवर द डिटेल्स हैव बीन हैपेंड यू विल बी एबल टू सी इट आउट. यू मस्ट हैव सीन इन अ शार्क टैंक, राइट? Namita used to say that I will invest money subject to due diligence. So that is what it is there, and here comes your real picture, and that is where we are into the same. That is number 3. Number 4th, right? Number 4th, let's go on the same. Is and again one of my very interesting domain where you can get into, which is number 4th, is of course finance. सबसे ज्यादा hiring, the second highest hiring, you'll be able to see it out in the finance roles, because every second company is hiring for a finance role. Huge hiring happens into finance. Now, finance is although called with a different names in the market, so don't get confused what the names are. Someone will call this as a management trainee role. Someone will call this as a finance controllership role. Someone will call this as a R2R role. Someone will call this as a finance role. अलग-अलग नाम है अलग-अलग roles के, which is there. Now, what is typically a management trainee role? The role itself says कि we'll hire you for one role, we'll give you a rotation across the roles over a period of time. So let's say we'll hire you for a treasury role, we'll ask you to work for 2 months or 3 months. After that is done, we'll ask you to rotate across the roles. So that is what a management trainee is. Why we are doing the same? Because we want you to see as a CFO of a company someday. That is what it is. What is the finance controllership role? Again, it's again a part of a finance, but majorly you will be working into account receivable, accounts payable, and treasury, which is going to be there. This becomes a part of a finance controllership. R2R means it is more of record to report role, where you are responsible for recording of a transaction to reporting of a transactions. That includes a preparation of financial statements. तो ट्रांजेक्शन को रिकॉर्ड करने से रिपोर्ट करने तक का आपको काम करना पड़ेगा. मोस्टली वन ऑफ द कंपनी हायर्स अ लॉट फॉर दिस. इट्स कॉल्ड एज अ जेनपैक्ट. जेनपैक्ट बहुत हायरिंग करते हैं इसके लिए, which is there. So that becomes a part of your R2R role, which is there. And of course, finance is again a function where you can be a part of the same, where one of the designation and name given by a company. Okay, the finance role is one of the place where you can think of getting into, which is there, which is number 4th. Number 5th, you can also plan to get into one of the very interesting role which a lot of people get into, which is your favorite, direct taxation. When if you have worked into direct taxation, you can also think of building your good career into direct taxation. Now the work includes your, acha, one more thing. Acha, before I go to the finance, let's solve one short case study out, which is there, or we'll do it at the end. End में करते हैं, चलो ठीक है, so that the flow does not get stopped. Number 5th, of course, many of you also want to get into one of the very interesting role, which is direct taxation. Now, direct taxation includes further lot of roles which are there in the market, which people don't know. The one is called as a CIT, corporate and international tax, where you will be working into end-to-end taxations of the company, of the clients which are based out of India, Vikas ji. Then you also have a GMS tax. Don't get confused. What is a GMS tax? GMS means Global Mobility Service Tax. That means you're going to be working on the clients which are outside India, right? Which includes your NR or expats, which is there. So you'll be working on those clients, which is there. Then you have one more again role into this, which is M&A taxation. M&A taxation, which is again one of the role which you can think of, which is there. And here you're going to be responsible for doing the taxation work from the tax due diligence side, which is TDD. So anything which happens on the deal from the taxation perspective, you'll take care of the same, which is there. So that becomes a part of this, or any merger to be done, any demerger to be done, that is a consultation you'll be giving to the clients. And the last but not the least is of course your TP. Transfer pricing is one of the part of a domain which is there. Now, of course, please understand, you don't have to go at all the places. You have to think what you don't want. CIT is a corporate and international tax, Mr. Nikunj. CIT means corporate and international tax. Many a times, a lot of companies merge TP and international tax together. So that is going to be there. Now you have to start thinking what you don't want, start doing research, or you can take some guidance and mentorship, what you want, and then you can decide where you have to go. So that becomes a part of a direct taxation. Number 6, also one of the very interesting domain, again, IDT. Those who have worked into indirect taxation, you can also think of the same, where you can get into again GST. Parallel, you can get into customs and FTP. That is one of the area where you can get into. One of the very interesting role, which is also emerging these days, is also called as a subsidy side. Subsidy side means you help the clients to get some subsidies on land acquisition or plant and machinery. That is mostly on the IDT side, which is there. So you can also think on that front, which is there. Now, whichever side of a taxation you have to go, just ensure that it's a bifurcation into 3: compliance, advisory, and litigation. Right? But majorly you should try to work on advisory and litigation wherever you're going to be joining on the same. So koshish kariye you work on the same, but please understand they will be asking and expecting some good technical questions to you based on advisory and litigation. right? So they might ask you some questions based on this. Have you worked on advisory? What type of advisory you've done? Given, so that is there. Someone is asking, can we shift from GMS to CIT? Yes, that shift is possible, right? Shift from this domain to this domain is possible. So mostly they'll be happy to see that out, whether your CVs are that is there. What is the difference between first and second? They go, this is mostly for Indian clients. This is mostly for a global clients. So that is a major differentiation between two. And nowadays, a lot of foreign taxation work is also coming to India. Like last attempt, PwC hired for clients of UAE, which is there. तो UAE tax करके एक domain चालू किया था इन्होंने. So that is also there. है ना? So a lot of new domains you'll be able to see it out, which is there. Number 7th, one of the again very interesting and a favorite domain of a lot of people, which is FP&A, which is financial planning and analysis, also called as a business finance, also called as a BizFin. Now, what do you do here? Very simply, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be planning the number. आप plan करते हो और analyze करते हो. Let's take a simple example. Amazon decided that, bro, we have to achieve a sale of 100 crore. But to decide 100 crore, they have to plan how do we make a sale of 100 crore? They plan the sale. Now, how do you accomplish this plan? For that, they'll make a strategy. Let's say out of this, they were able to make a sale of 80 crores only. So this is the actual number. What is the differentiation between planning and actual? You are going to be analyzing the same and making the strategy for the same. So that is what is your role in a FP&A. So it's more towards the strategy side, analysis side, forecasting side. That is what you work on. Similarly, one of the very interesting and favorite role which many of our people dream of getting into is management consulting. What is management consulting? In simple words, problem solving for top management at a faster speed. So at a faster speed. So this is what a management consulting is. So what you're going to be doing, you're solving a problem for the top management people at a faster speed. That becomes a consulting. Right? Of course, interview barrier is there. Some toughness is there because यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा resume shortlisting में issue आता है. But yes, if you have a good spike, if your career is good enough, if you have got some edge over others, you can think of getting into this also domain which is there. But here you majorly solve a problem for all the clients, all the people around which is there. Okay. Is it possible to change from internal audit to finance? Bit tough, but you can move to finance or industry side from, let's say, internal audit to you can move to industry side, which is there. Right? Sir, if you have experience in start audit, whether it will be shortlisted for FP&A, the answer is yes. FP&A, you get an edge if you have a good start audit exposure, which is there. Okay. Right. DT to finance, of course, we'll discuss it out, but DT to finance will be tough enough because you already have worked it into taxation. If you have joined, let's say, KPMG DT, from there you can join Flipkart DT role. So that is also possible. Okay. I'll take the doubts at the end. Don't worry, I'm not going to be going. Let me just complete all the domains first, and then you can just also think of what to do, what not to do. Okay. Then after this is done, you also have number 9th, which is investment banking, which is there. One of the favorite domain of a lot of people. You can think of getting into IB, which is there. Now, IB also have some multiple types of roles, which can be one of the equity research. You can get into equity research. You're doing a research on equities and stuff. Parallelly, you can also have one side which is called as a debt side of the IB, which is there. So debt restructuring and debt side is also one of the roles we can get into. A lot of back office roles are offered by a lot of investment banks like JP Morgan, Goldman, all these companies will offer you a back office role. So it can be something like product control role, legal entity control role, fund accounting role, right? To different names, you will be able to see the vacancies in the markets by a lot of investment banks, which is there. Just telling you out so that at least you should know. पता होना चाहिए भैया आज आप सीए बन गए, ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि पता नहीं था यार, बहुत रिग्रेट हो गया यार, काश मुझे पता होता. अरे भाई आप ही का वैकेंसी है. You should be proud enough that you're knowing this. I know it is feeling stressful or you might be feeling यार ये सब क्या है, इतना सब क्या आ रहा है. Just telling you out as a big brother so that you don't have one thing in a life and that is a regret. ठीक है? That is there. I'll be happy if the people of Zoom, those who are sitting, can keep their videos on. So I'll also feel more energetic. Okay? That is one of the domain. Next, of course, then you have one more interesting domain where you'll see companies like Infosys, Accenture, and also Big Fours keep on hiring. And that is also the domain called as the IT audit. Right? So this is something where anything which is automated and anything which is process driven, where will be automated and audited by mostly the big 6 firms. So mostly you'll find out the big 6 firms becoming a part of an IT audit, where anything which is automated or anything which is process driven where normal audit cannot be done. So you'll be a part of IT audit team. You'll be doing the same. And one more domain, which I also called it out, is called as a software domain, where a lot of CAs are hired for multiple software domains like SAP, Oracle, or Dynamic 365, and a Dynamic 365 or Workday. Here, a lot of companies like Accenture, TCS, Wipro, right, Capgemini, ये सब companies in roles के लिए hire करती है because they want to have some people who have a good knowledge of softwares. Let's say a company has using a Tele, I want to convert into SAP. So will help the companies into transition of doing the same. तो ये भी एक role है where you can get into if you're interested into softwares. Then you'll also find out very interesting role offered by Big Four, which is number 12, and that is called as a CFO advisory role, or FAS role, or CMAS role, or accounting advisory. What is this role? CFO advisory, FAS, CMAS, IND-AS. This is purely an IND-AS role, guys. You'll be working on helping our clients on IND-AS or helping the client to implement IND-AS, or whichever companies are going for an IPO, you are going to be helping those companies to prepare their financial statements. So that is a role which is there. Who should go here? Those who have their CA final FR. जिसको FR पसंद है CA final का, you can think of one of the roles, Satvik bhai, to go here. That is again one of the good role which is there. Then of course you have last role, which I just want to talk about, and huge hiring of course goes into this, which is number 13, and that is your banking. Right, banking roles are also there where you can get into the same, where you will be able to see some roles like relationship manager role or credit role, credit manager. Okay, or you might see some vacancy into treasury, or you might see a vacancy into finance or internal audit, or some other roles are there. Okay, so these are the major 13 domains where I have seen CS build a career into. Of course, there can be some niche profiles also like founder's office role, investor relation roles. So वो सब भी हैं. But of course, these are the major upfront roles which you'll be able to see it out as your career starting. Right. So just to summarize, right, no need to take stress and worry about what I discussed about simple things. First, what all things I have to do henceforth my journey started. I told you about ki beta, sabse pehle you have to start applying. To apply, what all things you have to do? You have to keep your email, resume, and cover letter handy so that you can apply into this all places. You have to create your account at all the places so that it works nicely. Parallelly, you have to prepare for pre-screening call, learn how to answer the questions which are going to be asked in interviews. And parallelly, you have to prepare for some of the tests which is there, like aptitude test, technical test, person test, and all the tests which are there. Then some companies will filter you out. After you get selected, you'll have to give a technical rounds and partner rounds and manager rounds. Once you get selected, you'll get an offer letter. If the process is simple, agar simple process rahega, so what you are going to be doing, simply you apply, you get a pre-screening call, and your technical is done, you are selected. That is the simplest process which is there. But now, when you're going to be applying, you have to think, bro, where to apply and what exactly you want, because now you don't want to make a mistake which is there, no? So now you have to see, bhaiya, what domain I like. And of course, now you have to do a research. You have to think, start researching and start reading. So the first domain I talked about, start audit, one of the domain where you can start your career into. Huge vacancy into start audit. Highest exit you get it out from the start audit. Then you have internal and forensic audit, which is there. Those who have processes you can think of going here. FDD, again, a lot of people move to investment bank from here, moving into FDD. FDD में जाने के लिए start audit का exposure is very much needed. So 70-80% of your CV should talk about the start audit which is there. Then a lot of people get into finance, which is there. Finance also offers with multiple roles, management training, finance controllership, R2R in finance. If people have interest into taxation, they can pivot into direct tax, again divided into parts, CIT, GMS, M&A tax and TP. That is one of the role. IDT, now इसमें देखो, please understand, I always recommend to our students prepare for at least 2 to 3 domains. 2 से 3 डोमेन की तैयारी करिए. Don't be very choosy कि bro, I only want, let's say, FP&A. अरे bro, you might not get it because vacancies might not be there in the market or competition is high or everybody is wanting that out. At least have alternative options so that you don't regret it, which is there. Then of course, after this is done, other domain, let's talk about the same. Then you have IDT, again, taxation domain. Now you have to choose which portion you have to work more on. Compliances, I would say avoid that, work more on advisory and litigation. So you'll be expected some good questions on advisory and stuff, which is there. Also, IDT have 2 domains, majorly GST and subsidy side, where you are also involved into consulting on helping the companies to get funds, which is there. FPN is also one of the interesting domain where you can think of, which is there, right? Which is more towards a planning and analysis, where you plan the numbers and analyze what is right, what is wrong. Then you also do and get into consultings. Although entry is tough here, to be honest, which is there. But of course, where you are going to be solving a problem for top management at a faster speed, that becomes a consulting. Then you have investment banking domain, which is there, right, where you are going to be again a part of three part of office: front office, mid office, and back office. Back office में product control, legal entity control, and other roles will be able to get it out. Or if you're joining a boutique firm, ये तीनों साथ में एक ही रहेंगे. Other domains like in IT audit, again mostly this becomes a part of your big four. You're auditing the processes which is automated. Then a lot of companies have for software domains like Capgemini, Infosys, I told you, where you're going to be helping the companies to develop a software and implement the same. Then if you're interested into FR, you have to think of you can also get into this role which is there. And parallelly, banking is also one of the domain where you can be a part of the same. Now what you have to think of, right, Priyank भाई, आपको क्या करना है? अब आपको सोचना है कि भाई देख, अपने को ना डीटी पसंद नहीं है, मार डीटी को गोली, आज के बाद डीटी नहीं करने का, जला दो किताब जाके, खत्म. मतलब इतना भी भावुक नहीं होना है, बट यस यू कैन थिंक ऑफ कि ब्रो आई डोंट वांट टू डीटी, आज के बाद डीटी नहीं पढ़ूंगा, खत्म हो गया. You should be happy because now you're a CA. Now you will do what you like. Don't make this mistake which is there. And number two, right now, after this is done, your life is gonna be very interesting because you will work for something which you love. है ना? जो आपको पसंद है उसके लिए आपको मेहनत करना है. ठीक है? Now I would say you have to prepare. Prepare it very well so that you don't have a regret. Now I think I'll say one simple thing. Prepare either on your own, खुद से prepare करिए, because मैंने बता दिया क्या prepare करना है, क्या domain से कैसे करना है. Now, parallelly, if you don't want to prepare on your own, if you need a help, you can also take a help. Sir, किसका help लेंगे? Of course, we are into this industry. If you need our help, you can take our help. We are into this industry for the last 6 years. You name the company, we have students out there, including Google. हर कंपनी में हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, दिन रात यही करते हैं. And we have placed more than 18,000 chartered accountants into the company. तो you have a choice. खुद से करना है, खुद से करो, मैंने बता दिया क्या करना है. अगर नहीं कर सकते हो कि सर मुझे नहीं पता प्री स्क्रीनिंग में कैसे आंसर करना, मुझे नहीं पता कि क्या गलत है क्या सही है, आई नीड समवन हु कैन मेंटर मी, आई नीड समवन हु कैन हैंड होल्ड मी, आई नीड समवन हु कैन हेल्प मी आउट विद वैकेंसीज. इफ यू नीड अ हेल्प, वी आर देयर, राइट. सर कैसे हेल्प करोगे आप? जस्ट टेलिंग आउट इन अ शॉर्ट. एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव अ डेडिकेटेड सेशन फॉर यू गाइस ऑन दिस टुमारो. वी हैव रनिंग आवर इंटरव्यू बैचेस व्हिच इज देयर. आवर 99th बैच, सी मतलब वी हैव कंप्लीटेड 97 बैच, 98th बैच चालू है अभी, व्हिच इज देयर, व्हिच विल बी कंप्लीटिंग ऑन 25th. So 99th batch, which is an evening batch starting from 25th of June. 100th batch, that's a golden batch, which is there. So we're going to be completing a century, guys, which is starting from 29th of June, and it is in morning. So by the time people wake up, your batch is going to be done. तो दो बैचेस है सर. इस बैच में क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, क्या चीजें होती है, टुमारो वी हैव अ डेडिकेटेड सेशन ऑन द सेम. बट जस्ट टेलिंग ऑन इन शॉर्ट, everything needed to get into an interview will be helped out here, right from practicing a mock interviews, building out your CVs, reviewing the same, helping you out with the references, helping out you with the vacancies, everything. मतलब जो भी चीजें इंटरव्यू के लिए जरूरी है, that has been taken care of. And this is a rigorous curriculum for 12 odd days. But please understand, batch 12 दिन का, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सिर्फ 12 दिन का ये fees you are paying. This is a fees you are going to be paying till the time you get placed. मतलब mostly it is a journey of 3 months. So we'll be there with you till the time you get placed. So of course, that's a good thing. If you're interested, you can think of that as well. ठीक है सर, इसमें और क्या होता है थोड़ा डिटेल में बताएंगे. व्हाट डू यू डू इन योर जीआर बैच? आई डोंट वांट टू टेक दिस डिस्कशन नाउ बिकॉज वी हैव एनीवेज प्लान्ड अ डेडिकेटेड सेशन ऑन द सेम टुमारो. तो क्या होता है, कैसे होता है? इफ यू आर रियली इंटरेस्टेड, यू कैन कम टू द टुमारोज इवेंट व्हिच इज देयर. यू कैन गो ऑन द इवेंट सेक्शन. वी हैव क्रिएटेड अ डेडिकेटेड इवेंट ऑन हाउ टू अचीव योर ड्रीम जॉब प्री किक ऑफ फॉर जीआर 99th बैच. ठीक है, तो जो इंटरेस्टेड है उसमें आएगा. If you're serious and if you want to help, you get to know, because we are into this industry and my success is dependent on your efforts. So that is there. Then we have a next very important event which I don't want you to miss out anyhow, and that is on how the campus forms has to be filled out, what all things you have to do in a campus. We have a live session on 24th of June, 8 p.m. I want you to join it out. Do not miss it out, which is there, where I'll be discussing on the same. Then upcoming days, we'll have one more session on management consulting. One of my students is going to be joining in. So that is going to be there. So I'll be briefing you out. And parallelly, we also have a pre-kickoff session for a 100th batch. Okay, so if you're interested in whichever sessions which is there, also keep on visiting this event page. A lot of companies pre-placement talk will also happening in. Pre-placement talk is it? The big four will come in. They'll talk about why you should join us, and they'll be talking about their vacancies and stuff. तो यहाँ पे काफी सारे events आएंगे. Number two, if you have not subscribed our channel, I would also be happy if you can do the same, because we will be uploading a lot of important sessions and videos for the same, which is there. Number three, right, being a big brother for your journey, I'll be doing some small work for you. Since you're looking for a job interviews, I would be happy if everybody can go and subscribe the channel now itself, right? Because also parallelly, I'll be uploading and giving you some list of companies which came in the last campus with the salary breakup what they have given in the last campus. Oh my God. So this is the list of companies which came in the campus, last campus, and their salary details. Sir, ये कहाँ मिलेगा? ये यूट्यूब के डिस्क्रिप्शन पे मिलेगा. So there's a file uploaded there. I'm being देखो, this is a draft, right? ऐसा नहीं कि 100% सही होगा, but this is a detail which students have given me, so I've tried my best to collate this data which is there. Also, I've given this one more data where ICI itself have released their CTC breakup by mistake. ठीक है, गलती से ICI ने रिलीज कर दिया था. Later on they realized that we have done a mistake, so they deleted this file. But I was kind enough to download by the time. Oh ho. ठीक है, तो आई विल बी ऑल्सो गिविंग यू दिस CTC वाला ब्रेकअप. दिस वाज फॉर अ लास्ट अटेम्प्ट इटसेल्फ. ये मेरा डेटा नहीं है, ICI का डेटा है. ठीक है, जून 26 का है, ताजा ताजा. राइट, तो इफ यू वांट दिस डेटा हैज बीन गिवन टू यू इन द यूट्यूब डिस्क्रिप्शन गाइस. ठीक है, तो यू कैन जस्ट गो इट आउट, यू कैन जस्ट चेक इट ऑन द डिस्क्रिप्शन. दिस इज गोना बी ऑल्सो हेल्पिंग आउट इन अ वेरी लार्ज एक्सटेंट. डेटा रख लो, क्या बुरा यार. राइट, एंड एनीवेज इट्स देयर ऑन माय यूट्यूब डिस्क्रिप्शन वीडियो. आई जस्ट शेयर इट विद यू गाइस ऑन द चैट, है ना. ऑल्सो इफ यू आर गोइंग देयर, ऐसे मत करिए यार, इतने मेहनत से बड़े भाई ने आपके लिए सेशन दिया, वीडियो को करेंगे लाइक. आय हाय हाय, मजा आ जा से. राइट, आई हैव शेयर्ड द लिंक, वीडियो को लाइक भी कर दीजिए एंड सब्सक्राइब द चैनल सो दैट यू डोंट मिस आउट द इंपॉर्टेंट अपडेट्स व्हिच इज देयर. You can just go on the description, you'll find out this PDF which is there. Next, also if you are really interested and if you're looking to prepare your CVs, right, so you can visit our website tools.cmonk.com. Although we'll give you a points if you're a part of a GR batch, right, which is there. So you will be able to see it on a resume builder. यहाँ से आप बढ़िया सा CV मक्खन की तरह बना सकते हो. Right, just try it out. I will not force you to make it, but एक बार बस आप इसको try करके देखना resume builder को. Trust me, it will save you a hell lot of time and you'll love it. एक बार बस आप इससे CV बना लोगे ना, आप बोलोगे कि बेकार है वर्ड में बनाना. Very user friendly, very easy to make and very मतलब fantastic, right? So you go it out here. Whichever CVs you have to make it out, you can just go there and you can just test it out कि how the CVs are made. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे आप बढ़िया सा CV बना सकते हो. इफ यू वांट टू चेंज अ कलर, यू कैन चेंज अ कलर. इफ यू वांट टू चेंज द लेआउट, यू कैन चेंज द लेआउट. राइट, इफ यू वांट टू चेंज द टेम्पलेट, यू कैन चेंज द टेम्पलेट व्हिच इज देयर. राइट, सब कुछ अवेलेबल है, मतलब एवरीथिंग कैन बी डन इट आउट हियर व्हिच इज देयर. ठीक है, तो यू कैन जस्ट ट्राई इट आउट. ट्रस्ट मी, यू लव इट. एवरीथिंग इज AI ड्रिवन, AI से बनता है. इसमें CV खटाखट बन जाता है. यू कैन गेट इट प्रूफ रीड, यू कैन पैरेलली मेक अ कवर लेटर आउट हियर एज वेल. ठीक है, एंड ऑल्सो इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड एंड इफ यू आर सीरियस, राइट, तो यू कैन ऑल्सो विजिट आवर वेबसाइट cmonk.com and you can register for the upcoming batches. In this batch, we also give a technical course. So जिसको सिर्फ है कि bro, I only want to prepare a technical, you can also register for a technical master classes which we have. यहाँ पे जाके आप देख सकते हो, every domain का master class is available. If you're a part of a GR batch, anyways, you'll get this free. So you'll be able to do it out. यहाँ से आप देख सकते हो. If you want some reading material, we have uploaded some free reading materials here also for every domain. You can just download the reading materials from here as well. That is what you can also check. If you're interested for the batch, you can go on the top. You'll be able to see it out details. यहाँ पे आप जाइए, यहाँ से आप डाउनलोड देख सकते हो. 2 बैचेस अवेलेबल है. We conduct 3 batches now, 99, 100, 101, which is there. बीच में अलाउड नहीं करेंगे. If you're interested and if you're serious and if you want really to get into some good companies, you can think of being a part of this batch as well. ठीक है, so that is something which I just want to help you out, brief you out about this session. We have 5 more minutes to take the doubts, so we'll be happy to take some important doubts out of the chat which is there. I'll be happy if you don't miss out any of the important sessions related to ICI campus, related to GR batches which is there, and don't miss out any pre-placement talk when we'll conduct the same. Also, we have created a WhatsApp group which is again on the description of a video, right? YouTube video के description में है, so you can also join the WhatsApp group which is there so that you don't miss out an important update which is there. ठीक है, how is US GAAP and IFRS? Again, if you're interested into that domain, then you can go it out which is there. हाँ, sir, please explain the opportunities for UAE. Of course, थोड़ा सा if you go and search my channel, right, you will get a lot of good videos I've done in my past to help you out in a possible manner, right? Anyways, अगर आप GR में आते हो तो वो तो सब एकदम स्ट्रक्चराइज में मिल जाता है, right? तो just if you will be happy, थोड़ा सा आप चैनल पे जाओगे, there's a session uploaded on how to get a jobs in UAE, तो वो भी आपको एक वीडियो मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, let's see the doubts which are there from the chat which is there. Eisner Amper is more towards a global side, right? And CFO advisory is more towards an India's role. So Eisner Amper एक company है which offers a role on a global side which is there. ठीक है, FS deals and taxation PwC. What is FS deals? FS this is financial services, right? Which is there, and FS deals and taxes more towards they are focusing from the FS side of a taxation, right? FS means financial services. मतलब you are going to be working on the taxation side of mostly financial services company. So that is FS tax. ठीक है, is it possible to switch from IDT to start audit? To be honest, tough. For that, you have to put something in your CV like some knowledge of a start audit. You have to just put it through, which is there. So that might be helping you out. So you have to take a GR batch. So should we wait to apply? Yes. If you have done a GR batch, no need to worry as such. Within next 2-3 odd days, we'll be with you to guide you. And if you have already taken it out, tomorrow we'll have a pre-kickoff session. You can start with your technical masterclass if your domain is decided, so that your CV is becoming stronger. And parallelly, I'll tell you how to apply and when to apply. Okay, leave that problem to me. If you're already a GR student, that is my problem to help you getting placed into the best companies of the world. And if you're lacking a confidence due to articleship exposure, I would suggest you can join the batch which is there. Switch from DT to IB or finance, bit tough to be honest, Nikunj, that is there. What can we get into consulting without a rank? Dekho, you can get into consulting without a rank, but for that you need some spike either in articleship or good articleship or great extracurricular activities, either or is needed. Does FP&A we have to work on any of the consulting firm? No, for FP&A, you have to work within the company itself. It is not a part of a consulting firm which is there. So should we do some certification courses, and which courses should we do? Dekho, Meenal ji, abhi we have to focus on whichever domain you have to get into and build the expertise related to that domain which is there. So that is something which you have to now focus on instead of focusing on other stuff which is there. Let's see some doubts on the YouTube chat. Should we prepare a resume very domain specific? Campus के लिए I'll have a detailed discussion campus में with CV to upload and how you're going to be doing the same. So no need to worry as such. Anyways, we'll have a session day after tomorrow. Is it better to add a photo on resume? Ideally, it is not recommended, but if some companies ask you to put it through, then you have to put it and share. But if you ask me, I don't recommend you to do this. Okay, what about the wealth management? So that becomes a part of your IB side, which is there. And nowadays, a lot of companies have for wealth management, but RM role. जैसे कि Anand Rathi will help you hire you for wealth management RM role. So it is more of a sales side which is there. Should we prepare? ये हो गया. So majority of my articleship is into IDT. Will I have a problem in getting into M&A? Bit of a problem which is there. So थोड़ा सा you have to pivot your journey towards taxation side if you're targeting M&A taxation which is there. Let's see some other doubt. In GR batch, will you be guiding for our core finance role? Yes, we'll be talking about all the core finance roles, and in fact, you'll be getting a one-on-one counseling with the mentors of your choice. So in fact, even if you're looking for some mentorship, you can book a one-on-one counseling with any of the mentor. Anyways, we'll give you a coupon code in GR batch. But other than that, if you're anyways also want to connect with us, you can also join here mentorship.cmong.com. So यहाँ से आप किसी को भी mentors को you can just book the counseling and connect with them. And this is a free of cost when you're a part of a batch which is there. Thank you, Riya ji, for the feedback which is there. Let's take few of the doubts. Sir, if articleship, अरे बाप रे, if articles कहाँ चला गया chat ये? Sir, did mostly bank audits in articleship? What to prepare for start audit now? I would recommend you go through the notes which is there for start audit, which I just showed you, and parallelly you can also refer to the masterclass which is there. Yet to join GR100 batch, so should I wait to apply, or as I prepared the resume but not yet checked? So Pratik ji, I think I would recommend you to wait for a few days, because better you prepare and then I would recommend you to apply, and it's just a matter of 3-4 days, just 2 more days to go, which is there. Sir, anything you want to share about a private equity? We'll have a Ishika ji on a separate session on the same, which is there. GR related doubts, I'll be happy to take it tomorrow, guys. Let me just see a few of the domains. Can CFA and CPA help? Again, depends on what is your goal at the end of a day, right? So depending on, let's say, where you want to get into, then you have to think what side you want to get into. I want to start my practice, but 1 to 2 years of experience. Should I go for Big Four or mid-size firm? Confused, audit domain or DT. So देखो, you have to decide based on what you're looking for on a long-term basis. And if you're planning for a practice, then think from the perspective of, bro, how I'll get a clients. देखो, client दो तरीके से आएंगे, एक brand के वजह से आएंगे और दूसरा आपके network के वजह से आएंगे. So you have to think which is weaker on your front. If you don't have a brand, get a brand for 1 year. After that is done, build a network by joining a mid-size firm. That is also a good strategy. एक साल Big Four काम कर लो, एक साल mid-size से काम कर लो, तो दोनों possible goal हो जाएंगे. That is also there. I'm qualified in Gen 26. Already have 2 years of experience in project finance and multiple attempts. Just switch a job in a month only. Want to switch? Should I sit for a campus or just continue? If you have not registered for the previous campus, you can register for the same if you are part of a Gen 26, which is there. हाँ भाई, डाउट्स तो बाप रे, आज ऐसे ऐसे सब डाउट लोग एकदम पूरे एकदम कहाँ से डाउट लेके आ रहे हैं. ठीक है, डन. I'll do a small task which is there. I know that you have lot of doubts and it is impossible for me to solve all the doubts which is there, to be honest now, because क्या होगा, एक सॉल्व करूंगा, दूसरा आएगा, दूसरा करूंगा, तीसरा आएगा, तीसरा करूंगा, चौथा आएगा. So what I would recommend, right after this video is over, the same video is going on a YouTube live. I'll be happy if you put your doubt on the comment section of a video. राइट, वीडियो स्टॉप हो जाएगा, उसके नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन आएगा, तो आप डाल देना, तो आई विल बी हैप्पी टू आंसर ईच एंड एवरी डाउट व्हिच इज देयर, बिकॉज हियर इट इज इम्पॉसिबल फॉर मी टू सी ऑल द डाउट्स एंड देन आई कैन सी इट आउट व्हिच इज देयर, नो. तो थोड़ा सा आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज go on the comment section after the video is over, and after this is done I'll be happy to take your doubts which is there. ठीक है, so don't worry, right, we are there with you, we'll help you out in this journey, right, whatever help you need will be given from our side to the best possible manner which is there, है ना. तो no need to take a stress, है ना. Number two, right, don't miss out the important events and the session which are planned in upcoming days, right. जैसे कि tomorrow we have a pre-kickoff event for a GR batch, just see what we do, how it is helpful, and of course, we have placed 18,000 chartered accountants in the company you can dream of. So ऐसे नहीं किया है, and in fact you can check the reviews on the Google which is there. You have done a great work, tremendous work, right? So you can see it out tomorrow. Don't miss out this campus session, very important session. We'll be discussing about campus consulting, and of course we have a pre-kickoff session for you guys. It's just there. ठीक है, तो let's stop it out here. I hope this session was helpful to you. I know there are still some doubts. I'll be happy to take the doubts. The doubt is not a problem. That's my responsibility to solve it out. Just put it out on the comment section of a video which is there. But I hope this session was helpful to you. Got to know कि क्या करना है. दो choice, खुद से करना है, help लेना है. You decide what you want. I told you about the domain. I told you what you have to prepare. Just prepare well. Share this video with your friend who have cleared it out in this journey. And once again, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Wish you all the best. Give your best. Get into the best companies of the world. And don't take stress. We are there with you. If any help is needed, I'll try my best to give you out in the best possible manner. ठीक है, thank you everyone for attending this session, and enjoy your journey. Prepare well, give your interviews, get where you want to get into, just don't join anything unnecessarily. ठीक है, thank you guys, bye bye, thanks for joining in, and see you in the next session tomorrow and day after tomorrow guys. Bye bye guys.